Thank you, Oli. Thank you, Ian. Right, well, I did have about 20 pages this morning, but I'm looking around and it's clear it's going to be more of a PG affair, so we're down to a few, which is just as well that we're keeping it short because I could do a book about our misadventures and our escapades, but I don't want to spoil the day. So for those that haven't met, my name's Tom, and alongside Dan here, I'm very lucky to be one of Oli's two best men. Apparently, though, I drew the short straw. Okay, well, most importantly, we can't continue until I turn the attention to the stunningly beautiful bride Beck sat before us today. Honestly, I don't know how you managed that. So, well, I did write in my speech here, do an ad-lib bit on Beck, and I wish I hadn't, because I am genuinely speechless, but I will say that it was sensational today. Well, let's do some thank yous before I bury my best mate in the biggest stage life. So first of all, I'd like to thank everyone here for coming today. Some of you will have travelled from as far as Stockport, so it really is a day out, this, isn't it? Well, I'm glad we all made it at such short notice. Late last year I got a message off Oli saying, what are you doing in February? It didn't know the date, but what are you doing in February? Only because I'm getting married in February, and are you still happy to be my best man? Do you remember me asking you about it 8 years ago? So I said, yeah, sure, well, of course I but nevertheless, on behalf of the room, I'd just like to thank you, Oli, for feeding us all today. Food's been wonderful, thank you. Huge thank yous to the bridesmaids, Nicole and Bianca, for everything done for Beck today and leading up to today. So please, let's give it up for the bridesmaids. I'm just going with us today, one special mention to Nicole's mum, Colette, for that spectacular cake over there. Can't wait to eat. And a huge thanks to Dion for the girls' hair today. And of course, thank you to the official flower girl and page boy, Layla and Artie, for leading us up the aisle this morning. One final mention to the likes of the stag do that did make the cut today. Thank you for being there and thinking what it was, which luckily wasn't Oli's idea, which was a trip up on Snowdon for some reason. But I realised if Oli couldn't make it back because he took a wrong turn somewhere, and that's kind of on me, isn't it? So we'll just play darts instead. Right then, Oli. When I first met Oli, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really like him very much. We didn't get on. I even purposely didn't invite him to my 14th birthday party. But he showed up anyway, and here we are 2 decades later. Well, we bonded over football, skateboarding, rock music, wrestling, and a love for making homemade stunt videos, which would be something that would end up defining our youth. A few years later, Dan was brought into the mix. And as the two became but yeah, we became instantly inseparable. Excuse me 1 minute. Literally, there was no thumbnail. What's my phone? Spare me a minute. I was really organised this morning. I got my card numbered, but I seem to have misplaced one, so excuse me a minute. Okay, yeah, so over the years we became inseparable. We did everything together, and I think it's better for us all if I don't expand on how literally I mean the word everything. But over the years, I've put, I mainly mean Oli, had some questionable fashion choices and some downright horrendous hairstyles. A tradition that we do try to keep up. But white skinny jeans and bleach blonde hair was a look. I commend Beck for being the one to settle Oli down, and on behalf of his parents, we thank you. But having spent half my life around Oli, I can say without hesitation that Oli found true happiness in Beck. Together they brought Layla and Arthur into the world, two extraordinary children, and I think everyone would agree, a reflection of them both as parents. Outgoing and hilarious. Oli and Beck live for their children, and it's beautiful to watch. He's a wonderful father. He puts his children before everything, even me and Dan. Oli's always been very family orientated. Long before he raised his own family, he was brought up in a family that I've always called my second family. My second sister Jess, my second mum Linda, Mike, just my only dad, and my second Uncle Phil. Speaking of Mike, I'll never forget these poignant words that he said about Oli when he was about 19. He doesn't have a hamster, but if he did, it would be dead. Because he couldn't look after it. That's always stayed with me. Mike and Linda always had an open door policy. Not that we had much of a choice. Dan and I would just let ourselves in and just help ourselves to a brew. But that's Mike and Lynn. They never did mind. They didn't even mind it when we turned the stairs into a skiing salon just to ski down. Or covered Oli's room, floor to ceiling in roof graffiti. Or started a fire in his room and had to throw it out the window. They were so forgiving. Or when we used the coffee table as a skateboard ramp. Or used their bed as a wrestling ring. And they didn't mind when we turned the living room into a gladiator arena. They never once complained. And also when we painted his bedroom walls and somehow the carpet without permission. Or hotboxing on his room that time. Or endless games of beer pong at the dining table. Or even when we set fireworks into next door's garden. Seriously, they were saints. And even when we used the bath as a sink bucket and super glued the chest of drawers shut, borrowed the attic ladders, lost the attic ladders, blended every food in the kitchen into a disgusting green shake. I don't know how you guys did it. So if I may suggest a toast to those most patient parents, for all the years they put up with our nonsense. So I can then. I am wrong. Anyway, if I could just share a story about Oli when he was 19, I think sums him up the most. It could be anything, let's be honest. It's night time. Us three are down the local stream, and we came across a really big rope swing.
Oh no.
Oli decides he's going to swing from it. For some reason though, in only his trainers and a sports jacket, and nothing else. Of course it doesn't go to plan, and he loses his grip, plunges 20 feet. We hear a big splash and then silence. Dan and I look at each other in shock. We're fearing the worst. Then, to our relief, we hear him crying in the water. Pass me my boxes, he sobs. At which point, in true best mate style, we fall apart laughing. He falls out soaking wet, bleeding, crying, and we take him home. You don't realise he's lost his key, so has to get a ladder to climb through the bedroom window covered in mud. He is, without a doubt, the most ridiculous person I've ever met. But he's also the best friend I could have ever asked for. In 24 years, not once has he let me down. If he ever did fall out, it was my fault. But the next day he'd knock on my house and we'd be playing football again as if nothing happened. He might not know this, but he's always been a role model to me. In many situations I've found myself asking, what would Oli do? Kind of like Jesus, but with hand tattoos and a mullet. But for every good memory that I've got, all came down to there. From dumb teams being thrown out of every party in the world, from jumping off roofs and moving cars, to them being fully grown men sat on his sofa, holding his first ball, wondering where the time went. Right up to this point today. I do mean this with everything that I am. Being stood here as one of all these two best men is the biggest honour I've ever received. So I'd like to thank you for that. And also, thank you for never once failing to be my best man. So before we do a final toast, I would like to read out a message from someone that couldn't be with us today. And it goes like this. Excuse me. Oli and Beck, we wish we could be there. As your awesome best man, his words not mine, Tom has to read this, we'll keep it short. Now you're going to have to forgive me because I'm stitched up here. The following bit's in Norwegian. The language is surprising that I don't speak. Gratulerer med deres store dag. Fortsett a very accurate summer there air. I know I'm watching this. Uncle Phil, when you're watching this, I do apologise. For a day air fantastic. Which translates to, congratulations on your big day. Keep being exactly who you are, because you are fantastic. Best wishes from Uncle Phil, Karen, Lloyd, Lena, Elder, Henrik, and Indigo the cat. And so that brings us to the final part. Because not only is it my honour, but it's my privilege to be able to ask the room to stand one more time and raise a glass to the bride and groom, to the new Mr. and Mrs. O'Neill, to Oli and Beck.